Winnie-the-Pooh Blood and Honey 2 is right around the corner, and if you haven't seen the first yet, don't worry, because I'm going to fill you in on everything you need to know before watching the film. The movie starts with a nice animation describing how Christopher Robin met the gang of misfits, and the narrator makes it a point to call them crossbreeds. Christopher starts growing up and has to abandon the 100-acre woods to go off to buy some milk and cigarettes. Or go to college to become a doctor, same thing. Meanwhile, winter comes and food becomes scarce and they're on the brink of starvation. Pooh gets an idea and it's a dark one. He's going to have to eat one of his friends to survive. They settled on Eeyore, which, knowing Eeyore, it was probably his idea. This started their lust for blood and hatred for humans, especially Christopher Robin. They vow to renounce their humanity and embrace their true animalistic habits, swearing to never speak again. Time jump to 5 years later, Christopher is out of college and brings his fiancée Mary into the 100 Massacre Woods to prove to her that he actually had talking animals as friends and isn't some silly goof. Although that'd be a great addition to the team. Like any sane person, she doesn't believe him, then they hear Pooh yell out. Christopher immediately starts following the sounds and ends up back at the good old crib that he used to hang out at, and everything looks different. Christopher, being the Sherlock's home type of guy he is, needs to figure out what happened here, but Mary just wants to go home because she's seen enough of the Wrong Turn movies. She stumbles across Eeyore's grave. Poor little chap's still depressed, eh? I bet he's still alive. They go to the treehouse and aw shucks, they find fan art of Christopher, then someone starts walking in. Oh boy, who could it be? Could it be Piglet? Could it be Pooh? Could it be Herbert from the hit animated series Family Guy? We'll never know because they were able to escape. It was Pooh. As they were leaving, Piglet immediately wraps a chain around Mary's neck and chokes her to death. Christopher runs away, but Batman's hiding in the shadows. What a big boy, he must have stopped going to the gym. Pooh starts to corner him as Christopher constantly apologizes and tries to make them remember the good times, but that doesn't help at all. And since the film only had a $100,000 budget, there's an animation of them dragging Christopher Robin back into the woods. Now we see some college girlies renting a house to disconnect from the world and get off social media, so they all turn their phones off. One of their friends decides to drive on their own and she gets lost. She tries calling everybody, but everyone goes to voicemail. She wanders into the woods like she's following some breadcrumbs, and oh man, we see Winnie-the-Pooh! He dashes towards her and just like the sweet honey-loving bear he is, chases her into an abandoned building. Do you think he lost her? Of course not. He turns on a wood chipper and does something that's not very appropriate for YouTube. Don't look at that. I don't know why there's thousands of people hating this movie. I'm loving it so far. Yeah, the acting is bad, but come on, horror's my favorite genre. If you want to see more horror movies, let me know. Back at the house, we see all of the girls talking, and one girl is describing the horror she went through in her past. She got up in the middle of the night to get a drink and looked outside and was met with eyes staring right back at her. Later, on a different night, she had a visitor enter her room and he acted like a complete freak. Guys, don't do this. Be better. Be him. Piglet uses a Peloton to generate electricity. Nah, this movie didn't have a big enough budget for that kind of equipment. Piglet uses a Bike Tyson to generate electricity, and everything is giving off Texas Chainsaw vibes. If your Tinder date ever brings you here, for the love of all that is holy, run. Christopher's tied up and begs to be released. He's constantly apologizing by saying things like, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, and my bad, and you can't forget about the I'm sorry you feel that way. Now Winnie's like, no. And he has a flashback of hearing Christopher Robin tell him that he'll never leave his side no matter what. Kinda sounds like a red flag. This makes Winnie angry and he's not Pooh when he's hungry. He starts smashing everything around him, then grabs Eeyore's tail on the wall to whip him. Because of the graphic content, I will be showing a demonstration of the next scene. So he places his fiancée next to him, but she kinda just looks like that. Yeah. Now Winnie's walking around in the woods and hears the girls partying, and like the inner Jason Voorhees in him, he has to stop the disturbance. One of the girls is taking pictures of herself, don't know how she got her phone back, but she ends up seeing Pooh in the background of one of her photos. She gets the great idea to start looking for him, then all of a sudden she's like, is Winnie-the-Pooh gonna ruin my night? Nuh-uh. Because of her amazing decision-making skills, Pooh and Piglet are there to join her party. Piglet uses a couple milligrams of chloroform to knock her out, and she gets carried away into the darkness. She wakes up and is tied up on the road like one of those old cartoons on a train track. Uh-oh, who's driving the car? Did Winnie-the-Pooh get his little driver's license? That's better than SpongeBob ever could have done. Because of the graphicness of this scene, I will be showing another animation to help explain how the story progresses. Let's take Lightning McQueen here, you know, Ka-chow. And we need a contestant from the audience. Let's take this bathroom sign that was in the front row. Mr. Ka-chow here drives over the head of the bathroom sign and puts it in park. What can I say, folks? It's not the kind of mind-blowing head you want. Two of the other girls hear her scream, so they walk around the premises to go look for her and find the car. Ka-chow! They freak out about the door being open and find the bathroom sign, so they run into the open door and find a message written in blood. The Avengers assemble and try to walk around the house together, but end up running into Pooh. He walks outside, so now they don't know what to do. They constantly come up with plans and none of them go well, so they split up, and one of them realizes that she has a gun in her room. They creep around and find Winnie slowly walking around. This will be the perfect time to take the shot, and he's gone.
What?
He's gone. The two other girls go to a different room, but Piglet is one step ahead of them and makes one of the girls fall into the pool. He tries to grab her with a chain, and since that's not working, he takes his mighty sledgehammer and walks into the pool with it. He's looking mighty goofy with that giant meaty hammer, then he hits a home run. The girls with the gun follow Pooh outside and see him carrying one of their friends. Eat that, honey. You're not Pooh when you're... The girl is now tied up and hit like a Minecraft character until she's knocked out. They go over to rescue her, and when she wakes up, they stop to talk for a bit to catch up about their day instead of escaping.
What happened? Oh, you know the usual. Bear and pig crossbreeds are hunting us down like a Minecraft manhunt 1v4 video.
Surprisingly, they escape, but hear someone yell and try to be the hero and save the person that screamed. They discover Christopher Robin and set him free, then he tells them to go save the other girl that keeps screaming. They find her in a ritualistic state, and again, I can't show this, but she describes the Winnie-the-Pooh lore by saying who did this to her. They rescue her, but when she looks in a mirror, she starts screaming, then steals the gun and says that she's not leaving until she kills him. What a dim-witted, dense, dumb, daft, dippy, dorky, doltish doofus. Why are there so many bad decisions in this movie? She fires a random bullet and alerts Piglet. Instead of taking the shot, she's just staring at him, walking in circles. Please, for the love of God, shoot him. Oh? She goes to take the shot, and guess what? That one bullet she shot was the last one and is now met with Winnie the Pooh. He pours honey on her as dressing for Piglet's feast, and the other girls scream, alerting Winnie. They start to get chased, and one girl stays behind to hit Piglet with his sledgehammer and chains him up. She repeatedly hits him with the sledge, and she is girl bossing so hard right now. The two other girls use fire to try and scare Winnie away, but throw the fire on the ground, which is such a stupid idea. As they're running away, Winnie hears Piglet's cry for help and runs over to the girl to do something that's unmonetizable. So, imagine eating a fork, but the fork keeps going and going and going. Then when you reach the end of your mouth, it just keeps going. Winnie now chases after the two, and the girls run away. They must be blind because they don't see the headlights of the truck behind them, even though they were literally just spinning in circles. They meet up with the people in the vehicle, and they think they're on drugs until they see the man, the myth himself. Every guy in the car grabs a weapon and starts taunting the bear, but he's just standing there like he hasn't loaded in yet. One guy hits him with a crowbar, and that's not stopping him. They all start going ham on him until one guy smashes a bottle over his head. This was Pooh's final straw. He starts going Halloween Kills on them by smacking the face right off of somebody, then karate chopping the hand right off of another. The girls start the car and try to run him over, but he grabs onto the bed of the truck and climbs his way on. What a true Michael Myers. He gets over to the windshield to say peekaboo, but then they slam on the brakes, which forces him off the car. The driver, who's barely conscious, sees her friend get decapitated, but let me just put the body right back on. There we go, all better. She tries to start the car again, but of course, it doesn't start. So Pooh throws the head at the car and she parries it with the windshield wiper. She gets dragged out of the car and is about to get slain until we hear a car honk from a distance. And it's our boy, Christopher Robin. Yeah! He rams the car right into Pooh, and we're supposed to think that he's dead. But guess what? I know something that they don't. There's a sequel, so I know he's going to live. He goes over to the girl to check on her, then Pooh starts to move. See? I told you. The strength of this bear is crazy. He moves the car with ease and starts heading towards the two, but not without looking like a cool guy walking away from an explosion. He grabs the girl, and Christopher is begging for him to stop. He's sacrificing himself to stay with him forever just so the girl can live. But Pooh says, then slices her throat. What a whippersnapper. Christopher runs away while Pooh finishes the job, and the movie ends. In Blood and Honey 2, we get to see Tigger and Owl join the cast as they're now public domain, and I can't wait to see what they have to offer. It looks like it was pulled right from Terrifier. Apparently in the credits, there's going to be some drawings of future characters tagging along to create a horror cinematic universe. Bambi and Peter Pan are getting their twists sometime soon, and I'm welcoming it. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I should have a join button soon so you guys can become members of the channel. If you haven't seen my last video yet, it's about one of the most entertaining Godzilla movies I've ever seen. What's cooler than Jet Jaguar? Nothing. Thank you for 1,177 subscribers, and if you would like to support me, I have new links in the description.